been watching Wanda Vision. The first three episodes were kind of more of a build up for episode four. And if you watch the first three episodes, it really paid off. You got to see what was happening behind the scenes. And, there have been a lot of trailers also that have come out essentially showing like scenes from future episodes. One in particular that stood out to me, well, there were actually two that kind of correlate with each other. There was one scene in the next episode, actually, episode five, where Vision is starting to kind of question. He's already been questioning like what, like his presence, but also in this episode he starts to explore and ponder upon what is outside of Westview, and we see that when he's like on the edge where the barrier is, and he tries to break out. And the second scene, we'll get back to that in later. Second scene now. We're gonna talk about the second scene now. The second scene that I'm talking about is it was actually shown quite early on. First, no, I think it was the second trailer where Wanda tells Vision that this is our home, and Vision says, "Then let's fight for it." If you kind of put two and two together, how did Vision get from that point to suddenly like wanting to help Wanda? So this can go to one of two ways, right? Number one, it can of ways actually. But Vision is helping Wanda because he's starting to see things in her perspective, right? But Vision is a computer, so that would be very unlikely. Aside from the fact that he's also developing like human emotions, but he can either join her side because of the fact that she is number one, he just naturally like grew to see things in her light, or number two, he starts to he's being mind controlled by Wanda, like the same way that the rest of the people in Westview are being mind controlled. So it can be either one of those things, and that's essentially kind of like the more plausible cause, I would say. But the other thing that I would say would be probably the better of the two, but also sorry. So yeah, as I was saying, essentially, the second possibility, which I would prefer to be the better one, given that Wanda is going to be in Doctor Strange, hopefully not as a villain, is that Wanda gets a redemption arc in which it's revealed that, I know like everyone's been like, the more plausible one would be the outcome where Wanda is not the villain of the series, even though it's pointing that way. I think that if either either the high evolutionary or some other villain is actually out there controlling her, or kind of causing her to do these things, and Vision and Wanda team up to fight against that threat, because I really don't think that trailer. I mean, unless Sword attack, like physically attack them with like a whole bunch of like like alien weapons and stuff, because I think that's what Sword does. Uh, they wouldn't have a reason to retaliate, and I think Vision is better than that. He's kind of the more logical of the two, I would say. He's also very emotional, as you saw it in Infinity War. You cannot hurt me, Wanda, and that still makes me tear up to this day. But yeah, essentially, yeah, I think it's very unlikely that Vision um, is succumbing to this reality, accepting it as fact. But also, something that we might also need to take into consideration is that now both of these people have kids, so it could be that they are in fact fighting against Sword, and they're protecting their children from being, from oblivion, essentially, because once this reality is gone, then their kids are gone too. But then also means that Vision is gone. So there are a lot of things to take into consideration. But as you saw in the last episode, essentially Monica Rambeau, I don't know how she said it. It's still kind of iffy on that end, that it's all Wanda. She just made that assumption from that one meeting with Wanda, where she assumed that Wanda's the one who's controlling everything. But as you saw in previous episodes, there are plenty of things that um, essentially she was unable to control. And but who knows? I might be wrong. I might be wrong. And yeah, another question that I had. Um, I don't think it's really that big to make another video about. Is the beekeeper who was, everybody kind of saw this. It was a sword agent in a hazmat suit, and you saw him transform into a beekeeper outfit, and I really don't know what happened to that man after he got rewinded. Did he get kicked out of this reality? Did he die? Will they reveal that in future episodes? I'm really curious to see the extent of how much Wanda is really losing her mind. Is it enough for her to kill? Because she's killed Ultron bots before. She's killed aliens, but I don't think she's ever really hurt humans on purpose. Granted, in Civil War she did accidentally cause the death of many individuals during the attack in Wakanda, but I think it was Wakanda. But yeah, essentially, we that's something I'm really curious to see how um, how much Wanda's going off the deep end in this. And you saw that, like I said in the review, she still has some sort of restraint on on she has a grip on what she's doing. Like it's not completely overcome her, and she's not completely evil. She's not an evil person. She's struggling mentally because of everything that's been happening to her. Um, you know, I, I really want to see where if they explore this further. Um, if Wanda completely loses it, but like I said, she's gonna be in some future movies. Uh, in particular, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I don't know if she's gonna be a villain or if she's gonna be, she's gonna, you know, be like return to her old self temporarily and then become a villain in a future MCU film, or if she's gonna have a redemption arc of some sort. I really don't know how it's gonna go down. I'm gonna say this now. I have not read the House of M, so I I don't know exactly what happens in that comic. So I don't know. I guess that makes the experience better for me because everything's gonna be a surprise to me. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of that for now. Wanda Vision, I admit, I thought it was boring. The first 3 episodes, there were enjoyable aspects of it. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't 100% a snore, or does anybody say that anymore? But yeah, essentially, the first 3 episodes were boring. The the fourth episode made all 3 of those episodes worthwhile, and I think that I don't know if this is a popular opinion, but you can literally watch the fourth episode first, and you won't miss that much. I think the fourth episode is spiritually the first episode, and the first 3 episodes were kind of like, um, it was just to really build up to the idea, I think. But I think if you started with the fourth episode, you'd be fine. I really enjoyed the fourth episode. It's definitely my high point, and you guys can see my review down below. But aside from that, I cannot wait until next week. The new trailer came out. I've seen it. Um, yeah, it's really great, and I'm excited for the future of the MCU because a whole bunch of crazy stuff. It's better so far. It's better than I expected. Really, they're really handling it really like very, very mysteriously. Like we don't know what's going on, but at the same time, get this sense of epicness. Like this universe is not going to be the same. Um, yeah, and Paul Bettany even said it himself after WandaVision. You're gonna see the MCU in a completely different light, and I am so excited for that future. So, Aside from that, thanks for watching, guys, and please leave a like and subscribe. And any video requests, you guys can shoot it in the comments below. I will get on that. Thank you so much, guys.